This is News 3 Now at 5.
Thanks for staying with us. There has been a lot of debate over mandatory masks. At last night's Baraboo City Council meeting, the public was invited to speak in favor of or against it. One woman said she is a survivor of sexual assault and was opposed to it. Here's her reasoning.
Panic attack. I had a hard time. I was abused, and so it really bothers me to have anything covering my face, like nose and mouth. I woke up to somebody's hand over my face.
Now, this is something that the Dane County Rape Crisis Center says is a valid concern among survivors. Jamie Perez joins us now with more on what the Rape Crisis Center is saying about the issue. Jamie?
Right, well, they said masks can be triggering for those who have experienced sexual assault in the past, and they said just because you know someone who has experienced sexual assault who is okay with wearing a mask doesn't mean that the next person is going to feel the same. It's become part of our everyday routines. When you leave the house, you put your mask on. But for some people, it's not that simple.
Something that survivors are talking about.
Dana Pelabon is the Senior Director of Client Services at the Dane County Rape Crisis Center. She said for survivors of sexual assault, wearing a mask can be triggering.
Well, normally, that's not something that people would think could be a trigger. It can be a trigger for people because it mimics that experience.
That experience could have involved strangulation, covering their mouths, or forcing their heads into a pillow where they couldn't breathe.
How trauma works is anything can bring up something that is reminiscent of the trauma that happened to you. So wearing a mask can be problematic for some survivors just because of their experience in the past with what happened with their assault and their inability to breathe during that assault.
Pelabon said the internet shaming is placing an additional barrier on those who have personal reasons that may not be visible to everyone who sees them without a mask on in public.
With the proliferation of how shaming is working on the internet, especially, it is a barrier to then go out to a store knowing that you may not be able to wear a mask in the same way, knowing that you may be confronted by people.
She said survivors are dealing with it in different ways, including not leaving the house, getting friends and family to do their shopping for them, and those who are just isolating. Pelabon said survivors are aware of the health and safety concerns that come from not wearing a mask, but asked that people leave the enforcement up to those who are making the rules.
To not confront people who don't have masks on. That's not your job. If there is a store that's requiring it, allow the store to take care of it.
For those who are struggling with this issue, the Rape Crisis Center does have a 24/7 hotline. That number is there at the bottom of your screen.
Jamie Perez tonight. Jamie, thank you. Tomorrow, Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, Public Health Madison, and Dane County Director Janelle Heinrich and other city-county officials will meet where they could discuss this topic. We'll be streaming that live at channel3000.com, and we'll have information in our later newscasts. Wisconsin has added 900 new positive coronavirus cases today. The state has now reached a total of 51,312 cases. A total of 916 people have died, with 5 more deaths confirmed today. The State Department of Health Services said 9,704, about 19% of people still are actively fighting the virus. The amount of positive tests hasn't seen a drastic difference in day-to-day results. Out of the 14,694 who were tested in the past day, the percentage of new tests come back positive went up slightly to 5.9%. 1.5 million more families are struggling to get enough to eat during the pandemic. The nationwide numbers are staggering, but it's an issue that's getting worse here in southern Wisconsin as well. John Leka from the Goodman Community Center says they were helping about 120 families in the Madison area with basic needs before the pandemic hit. Almost overnight, that number jumped to almost 400 families in need as people lost their jobs.
You know, there was a lot of folks who, who struggle to have their basic needs met. And then all of a sudden they start going a few weeks or maybe even months without a paycheck. And that's hard for a lot of people to do. So when you're just trying to get through each week, it's just really hard.
The number of families needing help could get even larger as federal unemployment benefits are set to expire at the end of this week. That's why the Goodman Center is looking for extra help with this year's Hunger Heroes campaign. They are in need of donations, asking for things like food, personal care items, and even school supplies during a supersized drive this weekend. Troubling signs of new outbreaks of coronavirus and indications the danger could be spreading. The White House Coronavirus Task Force has now designated 21 states as being in the red zone, including Wisconsin, due to large case numbers. Nearly 150,000 Americans have died of coronavirus since the pandemic began, including more than 1,200 who were reported to have died yesterday. UW-Madison says it will not require incoming freshmen applying this fall to submit ACT or SAT scores. UW officials say that the pandemic has made standardized testing not universally available or easily accessible. Applicants can still choose to submit a score from a college entrance exam, but will not be disadvantaged in the admission evaluation process if they don't have scores to be considered. The UW-Madison preparing to welcome students back to campus next month. That's where we find our Gabriella Becerra to explain how the university plans to keep students living in dorms safe. Gabby?
Eric, all 20 residence halls on campus will be filled this fall as UW-Madison expects as many as 7,500 students to occupy dorms like this one.
When we open, we'll be pretty close to full capacity.
Besides the addition of isolation and quarantine rooms, dorm life isn't going to look much different this fall.
Most residents will still be sharing a double room, but we do have some singles as we always do. But we've taken out most of our triples and quads this year, just for obvious reasons, to space people out a little bit more.
Director of Marketing and Communication of University Housing, Brendan Dibdahl, says if a student living on campus tests positive, they'll be asked to move to an isolation space for about 2 weeks.
They'll receive food delivered there. They'll get daily health checks there until they're cleared to leave.
If a student comes in contact with someone who tests positive for COVID, they'll be asked to quarantine in a separate space.
Student that's going into quarantine, they would need to stay in that room, and they would not be allowed to go back and forth or to leave or to go out to campus.
While the university plans to increase cleaning of the facilities, Dibdahl says it will be on the students to be cautious when necessary.
There's a lot of measures we have in place for the fall that we're to reduce the risk as much as possible and to give students as close to a normal experience as we possibly can. I think a lot of it will depend on the students taking some ownership of and behaving responsibly so that they can have the best chance of having a normal semester.
All students living on campus will be tested for coronavirus before moving in and every 2 weeks throughout the year.
All right, Gabby, thank you. In Rock County, the school district of Beloit announced its plans for school in the fall. The district will be all virtual for the first term through October 30th. And the school district of Beloit-Turner will give families a choice between all in-person or all virtual learning at registration. Time is running out for lawmakers to pass a new coronavirus relief package before unemployment benefits expire for millions of Americans. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin joined the president as he left for Texas, said there's still a lot of negotiating to do with lawmakers on a new relief package here. Republicans have yet to reach a consensus amongst themselves, much less with Democrats.
As of now, we're very far apart, and because of that, the president and we have discussed a short-term extension to UI.
Two senior Republican senators have said that the Republican proposal would be lucky to get even half of the Republican conference to vote for it.
A new CBS poll shows President Trump's coronavirus response has not resonated with Americans. 64% of respondents say the U.S. efforts to handle the virus are going badly. 57% say the president specifically is doing a poor job. Let's check your first warn forecast now. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
Well, a quiet but warm day today across southern Wisconsin. Skies are partly sunny and not seeing any rain out there. Let's take a look at visible cloud track. There are some showers and thunderstorms that have popped up across northern Illinois. You can kind of see a little line of clouds to our south of Rockford, Illinois, and south of Chicago. That's actually with a stationary front, which will stay to our south and actually drift a little farther to the south away from us. You can see those little showers and thunderstorms popping up across northern Illinois, but pretty much we're free of precipitation in Wisconsin. Temperatures right now are in the lower to middle 80s across the entire southern portion of the state, although Boscobel checks in at 87, La Crosse 88. Those are down in River Valley locations, and they tend to be a little bit warmer this time of year. Dew point temperatures right now are in the upper 50s to the lower 60s. Not terribly humid, but notice those 70-degree plus dew points not far to our south across northern Illinois. But they'll be moving away from us. So look for partly cloudy skies overnight. Temperatures will drop into the lower 60s by early tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be a partly sunny day, maybe not quite as warm as today with a high of 80 degrees, but we're looking at a pretty nice forecast for about the next week to 10 days. I'll have more details in weather in a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. The Dane County Medical Examiner's Office is releasing the name of the victim in a homicide in the city of Madison over the weekend. Officials say 24-year-old Maurice Bowman Jr. was shot near the intersection of Schrader Road and Chapel Hill Road Saturday night. He was taken to the hospital. He was pronounced dead. Preliminary results from the autopsy show he died from homicidal firearm violence. The two women who allegedly attacked State Senator Tim Carpenter have both been charged with substantial battery, party to a crime for their alleged involvement in that attack. Officials say 26-year-old Samantha Hamer and 33-year-old Coretta O'Reilly turned themselves in on Monday. According to a criminal complaint, several anonymous witnesses shared information with police that helped identifying the two women, pictured in a recording of the attack. Police also used footage from city surveillance cameras to further identify the suspects. On Tuesday, the Mount Horeb School District superintendent confirmed that Hamer, who is employed there as a social worker, had been put on administrative leave following her arrest. A Janesville convict accused of shooting his girlfriend 6 to 10 times, hitting her brother with a gun, and hitting her daughter with a candlestick holder has entered a plea. Dennis McNeil pleaded guilty to 2 counts, first-degree reckless injury and aggravated battery intended for great bodily harm, and not guilty to 2 other counts. That was today in Rock County Court. McNeil told officers he was on crack cocaine at the time of the incident, which made him believe people were trying to kill him when he shot his girlfriend. He's scheduled to be sentenced in October. The man accused of attacking a black family outside a Madison Woodman store is now facing hate crime charges. Court records show 65-year-old David Johan was charged in Dane County Court yesterday. Records show he was facing multiple charges, including battery, disorderly conduct, and child abuse. Those charges are now upgraded as hate crimes. A 32-year-old Fitchburg woman told police he had opened her car door at Woodman's last month, punched her after banging on her car window. The victim told a detective Johan used racial slurs toward her and one of her children during the attack. Johan told officers he was upset with the woman because her car blocked him from pulling out of a parking spot. He denied punching the woman. The U.S. Department of Justice announced today it will be sending federal investigators to Milwaukee. Operation Legend, as the department is calling it, teams up federal law enforcement agents with state and local agencies. This is not the same operation that brought federal agents to Portland, Oregon. Senator Tammy Baldwin told us today she's supportive of this measure that aims to solve the uptick in crime in the Milwaukee area.
These aren't street cops. These are not folks who will be patrolling. These are folks who might have, say, an expertise in tracing illegally traded guns, being able to tell whether the same gun was used in more than one homicide and linking those sort of things.
Meanwhile, out in Portland, Oregon's governor says federal agents who have clashed with protesters in the state's largest city will begin what she calls a phased withdrawal. Governor Kate Brown says the agents will begin leaving Portland's downtown area tomorrow. Protests have rocked the city for more than 2 months since the killing of George Floyd at the hands of police in Minneapolis. Like many other protests, they sought to highlight and call for an end to racial injustice. They increasingly focused on federal property even before the U.S. agents arrived. Quick Trip has announced it is acquiring the assets of Stop and Go based in Madison. There are currently 36 stop-and-go convenience stores in southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. The transaction is scheduled to be complete in early December. Quick Trip plans to operate many of the acquired stores as Stop-and-Go. Some of the larger stores will be remodeled and then rebranded as Quick Trip. Quick Trip currently owns and operates more than 700 stores. More to come on News 3 Now at 5. Up next, check out the video from Arizona. We'll tell you what happened on this bridge in Tempe. That's just ahead at 5. And coming up tonight at 6, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources seeing a spike in non-resident park stickers. We'll tell you why at 6. And midweek for the markets, the Dow up more than 160 points. Tech stocks also soaring today. The Nasdaq adding 141. S&P was up an even 40. And we'll be right back.
Easttown Honda has clearance savings on over 400 new Hondas. Get 0% financing for up to 60 months on your favorite new Hondas at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
Save big money in your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. JELD-WEN has 140 in-stock windows so you can complete your project today. Right now, all JELD-WEN windows are 11% off. Enjoy warm summer breezes with a new Larson Lakeview Split View Storm Door with a screen-away retractable screen and a hold-open closer. $249.99 after 11% off. Stop waiting and start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards. What if people with type 1 diabetes had the power to manage their condition without finger sticks? To always know their glucose levels and where they're heading with just a glance at their smart device. The power to make treatment decisions, to customize alerts and alarms to help keep them in range. The power to lower their A1C. All this knowledge, powered by a small wearable. The Dexcom G6.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value menu is here. Choose from a crispy chicken sandwich, a gyro, and a beef and cheddar. Any 2 for only $6 every day. Tell your friends, tell your family, yell it from the rooftops, baby. Call that guy who still owes you $6. Arby's, we have the meat.
Wild Easttown Honda has clearance savings on 400 new Hondas. Lease a new all-wheel drive CR-V for $269. That's $269 and absolutely zero due-it signing at Wild Easttown Honda in Madison. It's gotta be wild.
Hi, everyone. If you've got plans outside the rest of the week, Hattie's already looking ahead to the weekend in her first warn forecast.
And you have a chance to help hungry families in the Madison area without leaving your home. We'll tell you how tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning.
Madison Magazine is recognizing amazing nurses for their courage and commitment during the COVID-19 pandemic. Go to madisonmagazine.com and nominate a nurse for going above and beyond the call of duty. Deadline for submissions is August 17.
A bridge in Tempe, Arizona caught fire, partially collapsed after a train derailed today. Fire officials say a Union Pacific train derailed about 6 this morning. Heavy smoke could be seen billowing from the fire on the bridge. At least 90 firefighters responded. Officials say 8 to 10 rail cars caught fire. 3 tankers fell into the park below. 2 of them contained cyclohexanone, with a third containing a rubber material. Officials say 1 person is being treated for smoke inhalation. The cause of that derailment remains under investigation. U.S. is set to pull nearly 12,000 troops out of Germany. According to defense officials, it'll take years to execute and potentially cost billions of dollars. President Trump's decision to pull the troops out is being met with bipartisan opposition in Congress. There's major concern among Democrats and Republicans that it will weaken the U.S. military's position regarding Russia. The troops are being removed to meet President Trump's mandated cap of 25,000 U.S. forces in Germany. Pretty nice day out there today, but Gary's talking mosquitoes in our forecast. Gary?
Well, you know, with climate change, the length of mosquito season is actually lengthening. Our friends at Climate Central have shown us that since the 1980s here in Madison, we've had about a 10 additional day increase in the amount of days that are supportive of mosquito population. So, you know, a lot of times you think, well, the temperature's warming up, you know, we won't have as much cold weather during the winter. That's true, and that's a benefit, but at the same time, that also could lead to more mosquitoes, and of course, mosquitoes also bring some illnesses that they can transmit. And mosquito season basically is when temperatures are between 50 and 95 degrees, and the relative humidity is 42% or more. And again, that number of days has increased in about 2/3 of the cities across the United States because of climate change. And the other factor of that, of course, is how much water there is around. Fortunately, our rainfall has been more spotty over the last few days. This is over the last 5 days. You can see an area north and east of Madison has seen 1 to 2 inches of rain from the shower and thunderstorms that we've had over recent days, especially yesterday. Also an area over southeastern Wisconsin. But there are parts of the state, like the far southwest and the west central part of the state, that have seen little rain over the last 5 days. So the longer you can get dry weather and reduce those puddles where mosquitoes will lay their eggs and hatch, that will help to eliminate the, or at least reduce the amount of mosquitoes. But you can see there are parts of the Midwest, like southern Minnesota, where some areas have picked up 3 to 5 inches of rain. That's just going to leave a lot of standing water around, and those areas will see a big increase in the mosquito population a couple of weeks down the road. Doppler track right now, quiet across the state of Wisconsin. There are a couple of isolated showers and thunderstorms south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line as a stationary front divides more humid air to the south to slightly drier air where we are. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Seasonably warm temperatures are expected for the rest of this week. High temperatures will be right around 80 degrees, give or take a degree or 2. Dry weather is expected through Saturday. There is a chance of a shower or thunderstorm Sunday, and then another period of dry weather from from Monday through Thursday of next week. And for the early part of next week, we might actually see some high temperatures in the middle to upper 70s, a little cooling from Mother Nature. Weather track right now, you can see there are showers and thunderstorms to our south across the southern part of the United States, but notice across the Midwest, our upper level winds still coming in from the northwest. That's allowing slightly drier air to start working its way in. It'll take a couple of days, but eventually these fronts will shift farther to the south, and that will continue to dry us out a little bit while the humidity and the heat continue to stay over the central and southern portions of the Midwest. The dividing line is not that far from us. Right now, notice Wisconsin seeing temperatures mainly in the 80s, a few 70s up in the northern part of the state. South of us, temperatures are mainly in the middle 80s. But take a look at the dew point temperatures. Right now, 50s to low 60s, but you get to Dubuque, Iowa, that's at 71. Dew points mainly in the 70s across northern Illinois, so they are much more humid there. But again, with those upper level winds coming in from the northwest, that will continue to dry us out slowly over the next few days. So for tomorrow, I'm looking for a partly sunny day. It won't be quite as warm with a high temperature of 80, but the humidity levels will be down a little bit compared to today. And as we look at the 7 to 10 day forecast, notice those temperatures staying in the lower 80s through Saturday with dry weather. Sunday, a weak cold front could bring us a chance of a shower or thunderstorm, and then temperatures drop off a couple more degrees with highs in the mid to upper 70s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week before getting back up into the lower 80s by the end of next week. There might be a chance for a shower or thunderstorm Thursday night into Friday, but again, over the next 10 days, that only gives us really 2 days where we're expecting any precipitation. As we take a look at first warn traffic, another quiet day on the major roads around Madison and Dane County. There's the view of the belt line, seeing traffic moving pretty much at the posted speed limits in both directions. A little bit of a slowdown as you get over toward Monona Drive, and then on I-39, 90, 94 on the east side of Madison, no problems there. As far as travel times are concerned, the usual 15 to 14-minute trip either direction between University Avenue and I-39, 90 on the Beltline. If you're heading out of Madison, it'll take you 25 minutes to get to Janesville from the Beltline southward. On US 12 to Sauk City, it'll be a 16-minute commute from Middleton, and from downtown to Sun Prairie on US 151 and East Washington Avenue, it'll take you 15 minutes. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. Ahead on News 3 Now at 5, another major sporting event will be held without spectators. We'll tell you which one just ahead at 5.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
This right here is confidence in a bottle. It just gives you such a boost of confidence.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes. And I did this to my father. We were at home. I had the timer on, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing? Or
it absolutely could be a daily thing, but the way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
U.S. Cellular.
Yeah. New customer. What's the deal?
Unlimited data, just $30 a month.
Love that. But what's the deal with the signal? It works everywhere. I'm like sub-level Z of this parking garage. And it still works. It's crazy.
Sir, you're going into signal shock, very common with new customers. Just breathe with me, okay? Unlimited data. Strong signal.
Strong signal.
All for $30 a month.
U.S. Cellular.
Choose fair.
America, we want to help get you back to it. And here's how, with the Ford Promise. Visit your Ford dealer. Finance a new, certified pre-owned or used vehicle through Ford Credit, and if you lose your job, you can return it for up to 1 year from the day you bought it. You can also get 0% APR financing for 72 months across the Ford lineup. Let us help get you back to it with the Ford Promise.
Welcome back. Some golf news. The U.S. Open will be held without fans this year due to COVID-19. The 120th edition of the tournament, normally held in June, but it was moved. It'll be held at Winged Foot in New York from September 17th through the 20th. The U.S. Open becomes the second major of the cycle to decide to play without any fans. Another Marlins player has tested positive for COVID-19, bringing the number of cases for the team to 18. MLB has postponed all of their games through Sunday. Meanwhile, that outbreak has left the Philadelphia Phillies idle for 5 days. One Phillies employee who was working in the visiting clubhouse when they played the Marlins has tested positive, but all players and on-field staff have tested negative for a second straight day. A popular chain of fitness centers is now requiring everyone to wear a mask. Planet Fitness says it'll require face coverings at all of its locations starting next month. All of its employees have already have to wear masks, but now members who use the facilities also must wear them to work out. The new policy takes effect on Saturday. Best Buy says it is closing its stores on Thanksgiving Day. That follows in the footsteps of other retailers like Dick's Sporting Goods, Target, Walmart. They've all already announced their plans. It comes as the pandemic is changing how customers buy things, shopping more online and less in-store. Best Buy says it plans to offer its deals of the season earlier than ever before. Final check of your firstborn forecast when we return. Stay with us.
Fresh home styles are on sale now during the Ultimate Sale at Ashley Home Store. Get our ultimate discounts on everything in the store. You could save up to 60% off special buys. Plus 3 years interest-free financing with no minimum purchase on top of our very best deals at Ashley Home Store.
Dear Summer, how do I make the most of you? Do I kick back and relax? Or climb new mountains? I could go and get dirty. Or switch into new lanes. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be great. Can't wait. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2020 RAV4 or RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota.
TSR Concrete Coatings is the nation's largest residential concrete coating company, proudly serving homeowners throughout Wisconsin. Our coatings are 4 times stronger than regular epoxy and won't chip, crack, or peel. They're impact resistant and UV stable. Our unique process begins with a base coat to seal cracks and level the surface, then flakes in the color pattern of your choice. A top coat is applied for a durable finished floor that can be installed in as little as 1 day. Act now to save 15% on your concrete coating project. Ask about 12-month same-as-cash financing. TSR Nation is growing by the day with satisfied customers throughout Wisconsin, and we want you to be a part of it. As a special bonus, call during this program and receive a free TSR swag pack with your concrete coating project. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
Right now, we're at a crossroads. We've seen what can happen when we elect a leader determined to divide us. As president, Joe Biden will forge a new path by growing an economy that works for working families, getting small businesses back on their feet, and expanding access to affordable health care. Joe Biden will lead us on the path forward, paved with opportunity for us all.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Find your keys. Find your get up and go. Find pants that aren't sweats. Find your friends. Find your sense of wonder. Find the world is new again. At Chevy, we'd like to take you there. Now, during the Chevy Open Road Sales Event, get up to 15% of MSRP cash back on select 2020 models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. It's time to find new roads again.
Doorbuster alert only at Ashley Home Store's Ultimate Sale. Get the ultimate savings on special buys and doorbusters like these at discounts up to 60% off. Available for immediate delivery while supplies last. The ultimate deals at the Ultimate Sale. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, the U.S. surpasses 150,000 coronavirus deaths. Tonight, a look at where infections and death rates are rising. Plus, mysterious packages containing seeds from China show up in American mailboxes. Why the USDA warns, don't plant them and don't throw them away. We'll explain. And we'll meet a Navy fighter pilot breaking down barriers from inside the cockpit. That's all tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Well, American surfer Keela Kennelly claimed the unwelcome Wipeout of the Year award for this spectacular fall while competing in February. The Hawaii native was named the winner on Monday following an online vote. The World Surf League's next fan-voted category is Biggest Paddle, with 8 nominees vying for an accolade given to the male or female surfer who successfully paddles into and then rides the biggest wave of the year. The winner will be announced next Monday. Now, if you survive a fall like that, you know, even if you fall, you're still in Hawaii in the ocean and you're surfing, so life isn't so bad, right?
If it was me surfing, I'd be dead. That wouldn't be quite
unbelievable waves, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty wild. All right, final check, Gary.
Well, things pretty quiet around here. There's the live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Lots of sunshine there. And the WISC Skycam also showing partly sunny skies across southern Wisconsin. High-resolution Doppler radar right now. Nothing across southern Wisconsin. There are some showers and thunderstorms right at the bottom of the map south of Rockford, Illinois, but those are moving away from us. Temperatures right now, middle 80s across much of southern Wisconsin. 84 right now in Madison. But you can see the dew point temperatures in the lower 60s. Be much more comfortable for tomorrow with a high of around 80.
All right, Gary, thanks. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.